It's my feel-good breakfast show.
Welcome back. It is your feel-good breakfast show live on SABC3. This is Expresso. We're joined this morning by Dr. Darren Green because February is Reproductive Health Month in South Africa, and we're talking all about infertility. And so if you have any questions or comments to make, please call us on 083-913-3728. And earlier, just before the break, we were saying that for couples, and this is me trying to remember it now, before the age of 35, if you have problems conceiving or with fertility, for 12 months, that's a concern.
That's right.
After 35, it's 6 months.
Short,
but then you also told us something interesting about the definition and what people perceive as infertility.
Yeah, we tend to think that infertility refers to the inability to conceive. In other words, that sperm meeting that egg, reuniting, and that's that. But it's more than that. It's about also maintaining, once you've had conception take place, it's about maintaining a pregnancy, you know, and being able to house and look after that pregnancy for months to come. So miscarriages, early miscarriages, etc., that can happen later on, form part of the definition of infertility.
You know, I know that a lot of my friends are struggling with the whole process of having a baby. Infertility really is a stigma. It's things that people don't really want to talk about. There's a lot of pressure from the family. When are you guys going to start having babies? If there are couples watching right now who are maybe struggling with that, what's your advice for them to stay positive throughout this experience?
Stress in itself is such a big risk factor that adds towards the process of falling pregnant, both in males and in females. That I think you firstly need to just take 2 steps back and reflect and realize, who is this about?
Yes.
Is it about my husband and I, or my partner and I, or is it about the family? And I think we need to take cognizance of the fact that you can't live to please everyone else. When you start going out, everyone wants to know when you're going to get engaged. When you get engaged, everyone wants to know when you're getting married. When you're married, they want to know when you have kids. And when you've had one kid, they want to know when's the second kid. So, you know, take time out, reflect, and don't let the stress and the pressure of the environment and other people cause stress between you and your partner. You know, the blaming game is the biggest culprit for ruining a lot of relationships and marriages. Because the man doesn't want to go and test it, doesn't want to go and analyze his sperm cells because he's scared there is something wrong, and he takes the stigma with that as impacting on his manliness or his manhood. And it becomes an egotistical and an ego thing. So people need to realize that certain things you can manage, and if you're doing your part to manage your lifestyle risk factors, infertility, you know, then it's really not your fault.
And you mentioned one of them now being stress, one of the biggest ones. What are some of the other common ones?
Smoking is quite a big one. Alcohol consumption, obviously sedentary lifestyle, and obesity has become quite proven as a very high risk factor for infertility, both in men and in women. In women specifically, polycystic ovarian disease, endometriosis, and then fibroids or benign tumours of the uterus right at the top of the list. We also find problems in the fallopian tubes themselves that occur in a lot of patients that we see in state.
Well, this is definitely a very important topic that we're talking about. And if you do have a story that you want to share with us, or you have a question for Dr. Darren Green, please give us a call on 083-913-3728. He's here for you. He's here to answer your questions. And this is the time, I think, if you have any questions surrounding infertility.
Yeah, absolutely. Now, we should change gears a little bit, but perhaps not too far from that, because I've heard that if you are planning on family rearing and getting your own little bambinos there, the perfect way to start your training is to get a puppy.
Aww.
And I've been thinking of getting a puppy for completely different reasons. But of course, you need to train that puppy properly and effectively. But how do you do that? Take a look.